Nothing. Nothing.
Do you guys ever wonder what we're doing here?
That's pretty simple. We didn't work on How I Met Your Mother when we had the chance.
Oh, we should totally do How I Banged Your Mother, where this guy's telling this story to his kids about the time he told this story to his friends where he's banging all these chicks, and you're like, is this the mother? Is this the mother? But it's never the mother.
The Quad X movies are the most controversial movies on our resume, on my IMDb, on my oeuvre, if you will. They're the ones that people look at it and they're like, you made a porn. And I'm like, no, I didn't make a porn, because here's a couple things about that. One, we crowdfunded the movie. Most people don't crowdfund adult films. Two, if you're making legit movies and you make an adult film, you certainly don't put it on your IMDb and on your resume. And three, you generally don't need to work other jobs if you're in that business. It's really, really lucrative. Huh. But I digress. Then the other thing happens that some people watching it think that it is. And then they get mad that it isn't, that we didn't use adult film stars. Because here's the thing, it's not an adult film. I first came up with the idea of Quad X way back in film school. And I've actually done a couple different iterations of it, trying to get it to work in the right way. As you can imagine, it's pretty delicate subject matter. To get the right tone of satire and comedy, it took a lot of work. And at the beginning, I wasn't a good enough filmmaker to really handle it. I didn't have a deft enough hand with the subject matter. The setup is, it is a mockumentary. This one, maybe probably more, I guess, office-like than, say, a Christopher Guest film, if there's really a difference. But the idea is, what do these people that work in this industry do in their real life, like in their regular life? And it allowed us to kind of poke fun at a lot of things. And it allowed us to play with satire a little bit. We play with a little religion and some free speech stuff. And the idea that these are people that are considered outsiders or considered pariahs by a lot of people, when in reality, a lot more people than they care to admit watch their work. There is actually fewer actual like love scenes or sex scenes in this movie than there is in Three References. Because the point is that we're not watching them work. We're watching them try to interact in other walks of life. We had a couple of funny like little shticks that we did. We shot everyone like in their interview to make it look like they were naked, but within the movie shot advertisements to cover the naughty bits. Now, of course they weren't. They had stuff on. Sorry to ruin the illusion. And then we actually got companies to sponsor our film by putting stuff. That was always fun. But it was a couple of movies. And one of the things that's kind of daring for it was we did 2 movies at one time. And I remember being with Teresa Kelton, who is so instrumental in my film career. There are not enough thank yous to thank her for everything that she's done for me. But we were at Texas Frightmare weekend. And we were like just coming down an escalator after watching yet another homage to 80s slashers, when we both kind of came up with the idea of doing 2 movies at once. So the first movie is Rise of the Beaver Slayer, which is very much a political satire. It deals with what's it like to have a relationship with when you're an adult film star, free speech issues.
Hi, I'm Senator Marks, Senator from the great state of Texas.
And I'm Senator Marks, State Senator from the great city of Dallas.
Porn, or as those liberals like to call them, adult films, are ruining our society.
So when our good friend Jerry called, of course we were going to be vigilant. First it's porn, then what?
I'll tell you what, free beer at the local kindergarten.
And smokes at the local middle school.
You see, our family values are going to hell in a handbasket by way of the crapper.
Travesty.
Darn travesty.
Pardon his French.
The idea that extreme right-wing religion, which is again something I'm kind of going after, just like with Abram's Hand, how immediately self-righteous you can be if you go from having been a sinner to a saint. And then we even talk a little bit about like teacher salaries, when the main character has to interact with her kid's kindergarten teacher and she realizes how grossly underpaid she is.
Hello? Yeah. The check is in the mail. Okay. I know. I'm a little short. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I said the check is in the mail.
So we really are going after a lot of things in a very over the top, very much a cartoon manner. Now, one of the cool things was we also wanted to do a horror comedy at the same time with the same characters. It picks up immediately right after. They are very much companion pieces. They do stand alone enough, but we wanted to do like what happens when this company that makes adult films decides they want to become legit, that they have a new person in charge. It's Teresa's character, and she wants to take it in a more to start making legit films, not adult films. And so they make a horror film, and then somebody starts offing people on set. And it's we had a lot of fun with the homage with that one. We did kind of some behind the scenes homages to Halloween, where in the first Halloween film, they didn't have enough money to really pay actors. So lots of people played Michael Myers. That's why he's called The Shape in some credits and not others. And so we, I think, had 19 different people play the killer. And that's why sometimes the killer is 5 feet tall. Sometimes the killer is 6 feet tall. And it was a lot of fun to kind of play with that, that thing. It was also a lot of fun because I think it was the first thing that Mike Donis came to play. And he came to play this detective who ends up having to protect one of the adult film stars. And I got to play his partner.
What the fuck is up with your head?
What do you mean?
Your head, there's something up with it. The region above your neck, there's something going on with it.
My earring?
No, you have hair on it.
I don't think you're a very good detective.
And it was one of the only times that an actor had to leave a project last minute, and by last minute I mean 90 minutes before his first shot, and not of his own issue. He had just become SAG and wanted to do the movie, but we kind of realized like he could get in trouble if by being a SAG and doing a non-SAG film. And so literally we like it all happened right before his first shot, and I was like, who's going to play this part? And I look up and there's like 8 people looking at me, and then I have to go hope I have enough police officer clothes to shoot the last scenes of my character for the movie, and then I was able to kind of build the character from there.
This is kind of cool.
I assure you, ma'am, this is no laughing matter.
Yes, sir. I have a thing for strong men.
Oh, you do?
Getting Janet Mason to do the movie, I don't think I give her enough credit sometimes at how incredibly funny and brave she is. I kind of thought I'd have to do kind of a sell job on her to get her to play Dr. Long. I was wrong. She was way into this movie, and I think she probably has the most fun playing Dr. Long in the movie.
Quad X. So I'm a fan of mockumentaries. I really enjoyed Spinal Tap. So when Jim said he had scripts for these mockumentaries based on the adult film industry, I thought we were going to be brilliant. And reading the scripts, they were so funny because you're reading this like, you know, these characters are serious, they're telling you their lies, but it's so funny. And then to think of what the audience is going to think when they see these scenes, and then to go to the festivals later and really see the interaction with the crowd. I mean, I just really enjoyed it. So of all the films I've been in, this mockumentary has been really interesting because my friends, when they got wind of the project, first thing they think, we're like, you're in a porn. No, it's a mockumentary, you know. And I remember texting mockumentary, and my phone autocorrected to Monkeys Mentoring. So that was like a whole nother conversation. But anyway, so the first one, Rise of the Beaver Slayer. I am Dr. Long, and she is a retired porn star who's now a psychiatrist, so she thinks, and she's trying to keep current porn stars' heads in check, basically. And the scenes were just really great with Colby. Colby's the beaver slayer, and man, that was just so fun. I just had a good time with him. Well, then you've got the second film, brings in the element of horror. Brilliant. So you got a mockumentary about the porn industry, and it's a horror film, and that one was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed being in that too. Top things I remember, I got to do my first green screen, and I was in the full green outfit suit. That was a lot of fun. And also, I got to be the killer. And I think Jim let anybody who wanted to along the way play the killer, but I was thrilled to get to do that as well. I got to kill Ryan Andrews, and that was a lot of fun. So, and then they always seem to Twitchy always seemed to schedule my shoots so that whenever I would come in, I'd fly in and I'd still get to do my scenes, and then it'd be timed perfectly to get to go to the wrap party. So that happened again for this one. And actually for this one, I drove 17 hours to be in these films, and it was worth every second. I totally loved it. And at the wrap party, you really get to, you know, when you're on set and you're mixing and mingling with people, everyone is so dedicated and so good at their craft and so talented and doing their thing, and I love to see that. And the scripts are great, and the characters are great, and the actors portraying the characters are great, and everybody's on their game. And then you've got these wrap parties where you get to see everybody just have fun and celebrate the end of the film. And then you're going to the festivals and you see all these folks again. And so the whole Twitch experience has been really great as far as just, it's uplifting. It's an uplifting experience. So thank you.
You know, it was my third time getting to work with Daniel Kano, who I had acted with in high school, and he is fantastic. He's got by far my favorite death in our movies, period. Like he's great.
What should we talk about first? My favorite color? What? At least my death was meta.
Working with Will McKenna. Will McKenna, ironically enough, had actually been in every single iteration of this project. He had created this character who was like this nondescript Eastern European adult film director named Jimmy Bones, and he played the part in the short film I did right out of film school. He played the part in the film series and the web series that we never really released. We just sort of gave the copies out. And then he played the part in the feature films, and he was great.
I was in a bar with my good friends David Viter and Rick Santorum. He's a good buddy. Rick, he come to my home country of Kokovia, and he comes see my films, and he comes to my one-man show.
Quadruple X was so much fun to be a part of. Everybody in the cast and crew were fun and hilarious, and it was a great time. My favorite memories of the film was when another cast member and I were in a fight for the scene, and I chose to go and grab their nether regions to make a point, and came up with a pretty messy hand, which was hilarious to film and be part of. And I think it came off really well in the scene. Of course, outside of the film, I think the after party was the most fun, but all of that was great, and I really enjoyed being part of it.
That bitch is gonna kill us! We're not real writers, for fuck's sake! If we were, we wouldn't be here!
Dude! I play Jenna, the writer, one of the writers in Quad X, and the experience was so much fun. The script and the premise were they were great, and to be able to follow this script and then also improv with the other writers, it made set really fun. It made the experience really fun. I loved my character because she was a female writer in the porn industry, so I was given the opportunity to really not take myself seriously on set and be able to have that much more fun. Just the whole process was ideal because I was able to be silly. And you can be silly with the Twitchy group. That's always a given, but I was able to do this with the cameras on. And Jenna really was a fun character to be. She really just didn't give a damn. And who doesn't love being able to do that? So I really appreciate you guys for watching the movie, watching this documentary. It's you guys that give Twitchy the chance to give people like me the chance. And it's just, thank you.
I had to play Hard Rocket, and I had to get in shape. And at the time when I was hired, I was not in shape. And I remember changing my life, my lifestyle, which has stayed with me even still. And so that shoot for Quad X2 really, really affected my life and my looks. And thank you for putting me in that shoot. And it's kept me keeping my body in shape. Yeah! Whoa! Ka!
Alex Patino playing the Sexican, which was fun because, again, we were trying to have like a political sense to this movie. And so Alex getting to shoot his own scene, because a lot of it's cutaway interviews about adult film stars, and talking about how the only way, if you're Mexican-American, to get a part that isn't the gardener or whatever is to be in porn.
Yeah, I've been acting longer than I'll admit to you. I studied all the classics. Really worked to get myself moving to a career as a respectable actor. But here's the thing about America. If you're named Garcia or Hernandez or Ramirez, then you can play the gardener or the bartender or the criminal. And I wasn't going to do that. That's why I went into porn.
But the hero of the movie, the hero of the show, is by far Elena Weinberg, who played 2 parts in the movie. And we had to do that thing where we split the screen, but she was really good, man. And just an actor that kind of always came in like ready to do it, ready to go.
The only thing I remember from Quad X was I was in college. I was hungover most of the time. That's the shoot that made me start liking coffee.
It was just a fun, it was a fun process to do. Everybody was game. Everybody like trusted that what our vision was, that it wasn't going to be something that we were trying to exploit anybody. We were trying to make a commentary. And I think sometimes, like we talked about with Abrams' Hand, to make a commentary a horror, or to make a commentary with just over-the-top comedy, Blazing Saddles, that kind of thing. So that's what we were going for. It works for a lot of people. It's been some of the most live screenings we've ever had. Some people, it's not their cup of tea, and I get that. But, you know, I don't know that I have that movie in me today. Like, that's the thing. You grow, you mature. That was very much, I'm a young filmmaker, and I wanted to do something bold and daring, and something that was just trying to get noticed. I don't know that 44-year-old Jim makes that movie, but I'm really glad that mid to late 30s Jim made it, because it's a lot of fun to look back on.